I had high hopes, and I'm pleased to say that they were exceeded. The thought was that if we could look at our experience sort of at two extremes, in our classrooms and semester-long courses where we've got graduate students, professional students at one end, versus coming and doing an outside workshop for an organization, be it a private company, an agency, or whatever. How is that different in terms of what we teach and how we teach it?
You have length of time, you have a short time or a long time, and then there's the question of focus, because the key question we started out with, Bill and Roger and I, in terms of focus of a course, are you trying to teach people about something, of which there's endless research and things for people to know if they're trying to do certain kinds of things, or are you trying to help people be able to do something, to achieve a certain kind of an outcome or to master a certain kind of skill?
When you teach a regular graduate course, typically you as the instructor design everything up front on your own, and you may do some adaptation in response to the students once the course starts, but it would be unusual, at least in my experience, that you would somehow work with the students to co-design what's going to happen. I mean, you create the syllabus, it's sort of there, it's set in advance. With an executive training, I virtually always work with the client, contact, and as many other people in the client that I can get a hold of, to collaborate with them on the design of the workshop. How long is it going to be? What are the learning goals? What do they want to accomplish? And to me, that's an incredible opportunity.
One of the first things I found was what I call grokking the learning culture of the organization. How do these people learn? Do they learn by watching their boss? Do they learn by imitating others to kind of give a good impression? Are they really there to get solid information that's going to improve their business skills? Hard to know, and that's an unknown when you're walking out for the first time. Yet, at the same time, every corporate organization and many of the NGOs that I've worked with can all articulate, or at least want you to articulate, what the value proposition is. What value are you bringing to the organization? And you need to have thought about that. And you need to have thought about that in terms of what the needs are, which means you have to do a very, very thorough diagnostic. And there's often a limited time frame on that.
Classroom teaching, typically there's a sustained conversation, right? You can assume significantly more preparation. And in general, even if it's at a distinct professional school like a law school or a business school, there's a lot of heterogeneity in the group. Whereas if you go into an organization, they tend to have, there's more homogeneity, more shared context. Often confidentiality is much more of an issue. And often there are classes of things that are vexing to them that are pretty specific. When I teach in classroom settings or I teach in outside settings, the thing that I think really drives me to teaching at all is what can I learn? And I learn different things in different settings.
I think of my degree program courses as an unfolding, carefully orchestrated symphony. I think of the outside work that I've done more as improvisational jazz. How to get people to quickly hold on with stickiness to some new skills, how to bring it back to their work, and what happens when the work at 3 o'clock is no longer the work that they were doing at 1 o'clock. And being able to teach with impact, offer some insight, and very different from what I call a slow build-up, a slope of credibility with our students. You have 40 seconds here to meet the sniff test with these people. Are you credible? Is what you're telling us useful? Will I retain it? Can I use it in the moment?
One of the most important relationships on the planet is, and perhaps the most sacred relationship, is between teacher and student. And the moment you start treating your student as either a customer or a client, whether they're at the business school or at an organization, I think something gets sacrificed.
I always end my sessions in these executive programs with people doing what I call negotiating next week, which means just soon. And I have them role play that. And if they come back and they feel like they actually could take what they learned and try to do it, for me, that seems like I've had an impact on that.
This is a broad generalization, but I think it's a useful one. When you are the teacher in the classroom, You are the insider. You know the field, and these people, the students are the outsiders, are getting to know your culture. When you are in company, you are the outsider. They are the insiders. They have the local knowledge that you don't have. You bring a general knowledge, general framework. They bring a local knowledge, and you have to find some way in which that local knowledge and that general knowledge produce synergy. There's a ritual experience going on where there are defined roles, and the roles are very different in these two different contexts.
What I like most of all in terms of consulting is being a mediator. And I don't view that role as very different from being a teacher, but where I'm really being called in to help parties negotiate more effectively.